is no better explanation for what is happening in Imo State than to say it is terrorism that is happening there. Some terrorists are on loose, and that's very unfortunate. And it is clear that a lot of criminal elements are hiding under the pretext of fighting for Biafra or agitating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu to cause, to wreak havoc in the state, not just in this Imo State, but the entire southeast. I do not completely disagree with those who say that these have political undertones. Some individuals who may want to reduce the vote of Mr. P2B may be behind what is happening currently. They may believe that they will benefit from massive voter apathy in the southeast, because they know that if the people in the southeast, about 11 point something million people who are registered in the southeast to vote, should come out to cast their votes, 90% of those votes will be going to P2B. There are no two ways about that. So they may have decided to sponsor some criminals to instill fear in the people, so that at the end of the day, many of the people will not come out to vote. They're already going about saying no election, and all that. They want to deceive us into believing that everybody who says no election is an Nnamdi Kanu sympathizer. But that cannot be completely correct, because even Nnamdi Kanu himself had an opportunity to come out to say, let there be peace in the southeast. Those who are known to speak for him have come out to say, let there be peace in the southeast. Everybody is actually not happy with what is happening. The average Igbo man does not like what is happening. At the time we heard about the establishment of a security outfit in Imo State, I was one of those who said, well, that's a good development, believing it was going to help to reduce incidents or completely erase the incidents of terrorism happening in Imo State. Of course, I am an Ohanese official, and the Ohanese Igbo worldwide had earlier requested that Ebube-Agu should be set up. But we must get something right. The Imo State government never hid its plans, never hid its strategies. It refused to name that outfit Ebube-Agu. It rather said it is Imo Security Organization, or whatever they are called. And we do not know these individuals. The idea behind Ebube-Agu, or when Ohanese suggested or recommended that Ebube-Agu security outfit should be set up, is that people from the localities, people from Igbo land, people from Imo State, you use people from Imo State, people from the different localities to form this Ebube-Agu security outfit. Not because they are going to take up arms and maybe begin to shoot people who they deem are criminals. The major aim was for intelligence, because people in the local areas know the people who are criminals. People cannot tell me that a group of criminals would set up camp in a particular community and people do not know who they are. They know who they are. So the idea was to use the people to fight insecurity. But unfortunately, it appeared the governor hired mercenaries to torment his people, to kill his people. Over the past few months, we have had incidents of the so-called Imo Security Organization, which is codenamed Ebube-Agu by the people, killing people, burning houses, arresting people. Yet, at that time, people like us who wanted peace, by all means, said, well, if the people who are being arrested are the real criminals, then, well, let us wait and see. But after some time, we see a resurgence of the same thing in even a worse dimension. Look at what happened the other time, a particular aide of the governor, Mr. Onwuasonaya, he said he's accused of leading groups of armed men to arrest people when the former governor of Imo State was at loggerheads with the government of Ebube-Agu. It was this same Onwuasonaya who led a group of armed people to attack the man in his at the Royal Palm Estate or Royal Palm Hotel. The governor should, as the chief security officer of the state, should be the one who would most want peace in the state. But with what is happening in the state today, I do not think he actually wants peace. Rather, he politicizes insecurity. About 1 year ago, he told us there was going to be a naming ceremony, that he had strong intelligence, giving out the names of those who were involved in sponsoring terrorism. And people like us said, go ahead and do it. Few days before that was supposed to happen, a former chief of staff in Imo State, Uchenwosu, who was his rival in the governorship election, was arrested at the church where he went for his mother's outing service, put into a helicopter or a private jet and flown to Abuja. And at land he was released the same day because the police authorities didn't know about it. Some people believe that the young man was to be killed, but because an alarm was raised, it went viral on social media. They diverted it to be a police activity, police operation. Up to date, the police has not come out to tell us the crime of Uchenwosu. The police has not come out to tell us their investigations. Who were the people who carried out that operation? Why did they carry out that operation? What is the outcome of their investigations? If Uchenwosu was guilty of the crime for which he was arrested, why is he walking free? If he is involved in sponsoring terrorism in Imo State or anywhere in the southeast, why is he walking free and today a very good friend of the governor? If he is not involved, where are the police officers or the armed men who carried out that operation? Why are they walking free? If a state government had to resort to killing their people, burning up houses in order to demarcate political opponents, then that governor or whoever is in charge of that government is irresponsible. That person should have no business in governance. If you want to demarcate your political opponents, carry out projects that your political opponents did not carry out. That way, people are interested in good governance, in having good governance. Ensure adequate security. If you think that your political opponents are sponsoring insecurity, deal with them. Get the right intelligence. Gather the right intelligence and make sure that everybody who is remotely connected to such acts of insecurity, terrorism, is dealt with, not running a blackmail government. It shows that the governor or whoever is in charge of that government is not prepared for governance. He had rather come for blackmail. He had rather come for a party. He had rather come to kill. He had rather come to mess things up in the state. I will tell you from personal experience. I am a farmer. I have lands in Imo State I would have used for my farm, but I abandoned it and had to come to Abuja to set up my farm. I'm a paint maker. I have a paint producing outfit in Imo State which is closed down. I can't go down there because the Imo State government, I do not trust them. I do not know where the attack will be coming from. I have been an outspoken critic of the style of violence by any group, be it Nnamdi Kanu, be it IPOB, be it ESN, whatever group. I am one of those who, I am the first person, it is on record, that called for the disbandment of ESN. I made it clear that nobody except state governments, except the appropriate authorities, have the right to establish a security outfit. So you wouldn't know where, for instance, look at my brother, Ugo, who was attacked a few days ago. The state government is saying they are not aware. The IPOB is saying they are not aware. And everybody is denying. That is the problem with insecurity. When there is such a situation, political opponents could arrange for your assassination, for an attack on you, and they will blame it on ESN. They can do anything and blame it on Nnamdi Kanu. They can do anything and blame it on Biafra secessionists. And most of these things are neither here nor there. That's a very responsible thing to say. The governor is irresponsible. Hope Uzodinma, by that statement, has disqualified himself from continuing to be governor of Imo State. That's the most irresponsible thing any governor has ever made. As bad as the governance system in Nigeria is, I do not think any other governor would have made such a statement. The governor said he had intelligence that Ugo was meeting Biafran secessionists. He had intelligence of their discussion, where they had a discussion that Ugo was going to support the no election agitation. Let him provide that evidence. Why did he, if he is so wonderful that he had such solid intelligence, why are these same people still terrorizing his state? If he had so wonderful an intelligence that he knows where these people meet, knows what they discuss, why hasn't he picked them up? What are these same people? They even burnt a part of his house. They burnt the houses of his commissioners. He's an irresponsible governor. I'm sorry to say that. The governor made that statement on the 5th of January, 2023, that the people who are attacking, who are behind insecurity, are those who are against his government. 5 days or 6 days after, Ikenga, who is the most outspoken opposition politician in Imo State, and maybe even in Nigeria, was attacked. His uncle killed, 2 other people killed, cars, more than 30, burnt. His father's house bombed, and many other structures. More than R1 billion worth of properties were lost. So it could be that the governor was sending a message to the attackers. It could be that, because they got the message. This had not happened before now. It could also be that he was laying a background. He was laying the grounds for that kind of attack to happen. It could also be that the people who are carrying out these attacks are not also connected to the governor. But when they had this, they wanted to establish an alibi. They wanted to send a message, oh, we are not targeting the governor's people alone. It could also be that the governor's supporters felt angry. That is why a leader must be careful what he says and how he says it and when he says it. The Imo State environment is not safe for anybody, but we will not run away. I'll be in Imo State. I go to Imo State for my meetings. I will cast my vote in Imo State. I'll be in Imo State to ensure that my supporters, my friends, vote for the right candidates. The idea could be to scare people like us away so that they will have the opportunity to do what they want to do, to impose the kind of people they want to impose at different levels of government. And if we run away, they will achieve it. Yes, already the situation in Imo State is very bad and frightening. A lot of political leaders have run away from Imo State. But for how long? We will have to move back to Imo State and take over our state from these criminals, from these terrorists, whoever they are, whoever is sponsoring them. We cannot relinquish our rights to citizenship to terrorists, no matter what it means.